This is Mastering the Linux Command Line Part 2, and I'm thrilled you are here because today we are taking your terminal skills to the next level. But before we dive into the new commands, let's take a quick look back at what we covered in Part 1. We started by installing a few utility tools and also downloading the practice file from my GitHub repository, so you could explore and navigate the Linux file system together. We learned how to create folders with mkdir and use essential navigation commands like print working directory, that's pwd, list, ls, and also cd, cd ... and others. Right. So here, before we continue with part 2, we just need to launch VMware. And then we just click on open a virtual machine. And then it gives us this file, that is the VMS file, which is the primary configuration file for a virtual machine. And then I click on it because I'm in the process of booting the VM01 machine. Then I click on power on this virtual machine. Great. So now the password that I used in my previous video was 1234. Great. So now here, this is my file, my home folder, user home folder. So let me just click, move it a little to the side so that you can see things happening here. The same way I want to access my terminal, two methods. One is to type Control+Alt plus T, or just go to Show Apps and then click on Terminal. So I explained to you that terminal runs shell programs. So now to increase the test, type Control+Shift+K to increase that. Now, so this is your prompt. Here, what you see here is your username and then your machine name, your host name. So now when you type in ls, so the first command that you need to know is list. So here it's going to list the file. This is the files that you see. So this is a command. So now I can also type list-l, which I have an option there. It changes the behavior of the command. It gives you more information. The next command that I'll be talking about is cd. Now, cd means change directory. I want to move to my document directory. The command to type is cd document. Here, I am in the document directory. So this command changes your current working directory to the document folder. So it means that I am here, this form. So this was the previous file that I created. So now when I type ls, it will list the file within that particular folder. The same way, I can type the command cd ... This refers to the parent directory of your current location. So here, this command moves, that cd ... moves you up one level in the directory hierarchy using two periods. So enter. So it brings me back. Right. So now in my previous video, I managed to download this file from my exercise, from my GitHub repository. So I'm going to repeat the same process. So what I need to do is to delete this particular file from my document directory. So to confirm that, I can just come in here, type cd document, and then say list, and then it tells me there's nothing there. So now let me move to my home folder, which means I need to type in cd ... to take me back to my home folder. So here, when I type in list, it lists the file here. Now, the command to get my practice file from my GitHub repository is this. Type this git clone https, means I'm moving out of my computer system, this sign, the /2, and then I type in github.com and then Kwame Assa practice -files.git. So here you can see that I have managed to download this file, right? I can move this file using the command move, or I can use the graphical user interface method to just cut this file and then drop it into, paste them into my document directory. Now, when I open this file, you can see that there's a README file and also there's a practice file. My interest is this zip file. I can extract this file, or what I want to do is to copy this and then come back to my document directory and paste this zip file. So now I don't need this. So I can remove this previous file that I had. So here, this is the zip file. So there's a command called unzip. So I want to unzip this file. I want to extract this file. So you can actually come in here, right click on it, and then say extract file. It extracts the file, right? You can also use the command prompt in doing that. But before you do that, make sure you are in that particular directory. The file is in document. So here I type in cd document. So I'm here. Now I type the command unzip, and then because of there's a space there, we'll talk about that later. And then here, I just type in practice files.zip, and then it unzip the file. Now I want to remove this zip file. One way is I can just select and press delete, or I can use the command remove, that is RM, means remove, and then I need to quote it because of the space. So practice space files.zip. So here you can see that I have managed to delete the zip file. The next command that I'll still type is still cd, because I want to go into the practice file directory. So here, when I type cd and I type practice, because I'm in the document, so practice space files, look at what is going to happen. So guess what is going to happen, class? So here, when I press enter, it says, it gives me an error message. It says too many arguments. It says so it means that the shell interprets a space as a separate two arguments. So it sees this as two separate arguments. That's practice and files. So hence it thinks you are trying to cd into practice and another argument files, which this does not exist. So one way is you quote it. So just type cd quote practice and then space files, or you can say cd practice backspace and then file. So this also makes you get access to the practice file directory. Right. So now when I type in ls, so currently I'm in here and I press enter, it lists these files for me. When I type ls-l here, I want more information on the file. I told you that the structure of a Linux command has command, option, and argument. So what are command? They are programs that you are running. Typical example is ls. So you can only have a command ls, right? You can also have a command ls dash an option, which is dash l. So here, what it's doing is giving you more information. You see more information. So on the left side here, you see dash d, right? So here it's telling you whether the file, whether it's a file. So the dash means it's representing a file. D represents a folder. Sometimes you can find L. And the next is the permission on the file. This is the owner of the file, the group setting of the file, the file size, the date and time that the file was last edited, and the file name. I can also type the command ls-lh here. It gives you, it calls the size postfixes, kilo, mega, gigabyte, and then finally what I said is the date and time. So this is it, right? It calls the postfixes, size postfixes, whether kilo, mega, and then gigabyte. And then the date and time that it was last edited, and the file name. Right. So we've made use of the cd ... So now let's move on to how to create a folder, create a directory using the mkdir command. So I want to create a folder within my practice file, which is called Kwame, or let's say new _ folder. So here I've managed to create a folder here. Initially it wasn't there. The next command is I can also create multiple folders using the mkdir. So I can come in here, mkdir folder 1, give a space, folder 2, give a space, and then folder 3, give a space. So here I've managed, it says too many arguments. Yes, of course, because that's repeated the same file. So it says file 2 already exists because I was supposed to delete it. So what I do is it's the same thing. It did not give me any duplicate file. So here, so the right thing was for me to type mkdir folder 1, folder 2, and then folder 3. So when I realized that it told me folder 2 and then folder 1 already created, the next thing I could have done was just to do mkdir folder 3 add. So now what I'll do is I can also type in remove, so I can remove all of them. Folder 1 space, folder 2 space, folder 3. So it removes all the file. So I can also use this opportunity to rectify that error. So here I can also use this to bring them back. So initially I had issues. I used the remove directory and then to remove the file, the folders, and also use the mkdir and then to also create them back. Now, so let me clear the screen. So you know how to create a folder using the mkdir. Now let's complicate things. Now I want to create a folder within 2 folders within the networking directory. You can find this networking directory and in IT and also networking. I want to create 2 folders. That is hardware and then cable. So a folder name called hardware, a folder name called cable. So here the command to type is mkdir, so units, IT, and then networking. So here it takes me to this folder, and then I have hardware. Then I give a space, and I say units, IT. I will not press enter because I want to do it simultaneously so that it creates the 2 files, right? IT, networking, and then cables. So you can see that 2 files have been created. So now to verify it, I can just say list units. So I just want to verify here on the terminal that it can see cable and hardware. So list, so I'm doing this argument, IT, networking, and then press enter. Here it lists these 2 files for me to see. The same way I can use the command called the -p to create all needed parent. So I want to create multiple folders using a single command. So let's say I come to my unit directory, and then I want to create a folder called legal, and inside legal, I want to create a folder called cases. So one command to do that. So here, what I will do is I'll type mkdir -p, right? So I said this command creates all needed parent folder. And then I type in units and then legal and then cases. Press enter. So here a folder is created called legal, and then inside this, it gives you cases. So I can type in remove, sorry, I can type remove, that is RM, then units, legal, and then cases. So it says too many arguments. So you see the mistake here is it's a folder. So remove directory and then press enter to remove that. So you can see that it is now empty. The legal folder is now empty. Right, so let's move on to copy, move, and delete files. Right, so here, when I type in ls, it lists the files within the practice files. So you can see list 3. So let me just use list 3 in performing my copy. Right, so here I can say CP means copy. So let's say list.txt, and then I'm trying to create another file, which is list2.txt. So here, this is the command. Here, this is a file name. So this file name is the file you want to copy, and the second file is where you want to copy it to. So when you press enter and you type in ls, a file called list2 has been created. So I can also do copy and then list3.txt, list txt, create another one, list3 .txt, do the next, use the arrow key. The arrow key stores the first 10 commands. Let me do another one. 5. So now when I type in ls, here I've managed to use the cp command to create a copy of the list.txt, having list 2, list 3, list 4, and then list 5. So now I can also, let me just type this command, and I want you to make meaning out of it. So now let me go to my unit directory, go to HR, go to employees. So I'm going to do something here. CP list, or let me just type simple underscore, this is the file, trying to move this file, data.txt to units, HR, employee, take note of the space, info. Right. So here, this command copies the file simple underscore data txt file, test file, into the employee folder without removing the original file. So here, when I type in ls, the file is still there, simple underscore that. The same way when I type in list units, just to confirm if you can find the terminal, can see it within this employee folder. So here HR and then employee info. So here it is listed there. So this verifies that you've managed to copy it there. Let's move on to move. Right. So here I can now move this file to a different directory. So here I want to move simple.txt, simple data.txt file to my legal folder. So here I type in move and then type in units and then legal. Press enter. It says too many arguments. So here practice, so units and then legal. It says too many argument. It says the file right. So here I'm saying move. I missed the file. Simple. Can you imagine? Data.txt, because here there's no source. I'm just hitting the destination. Can you imagine? So unit and legal. And then I press enter. So now let me just open the file to see it take effect here and press enter. So I've managed to move the file. So move has two main uses. You can use it to move a file. You can also use it to rename a file. So now you see now the file name here is showing simple underscore data.txt. I can use the command move to rename the file. So mv, then I come in here, units, legal, and then simple underscore data.txt, and then units, legal, and then I type in literature.txt. So I'm renaming the file. So you can see that now the name has been renamed. So if you want to rename a file in Linux, the command is using move. So move is a command that has two main uses. You can use it to move and also rename a file. So for you to verify, you can also type ls units legal and press enter. Now the name shows literature.txt. So now let's say you want to move, when you type ls, just understand this scenario. I want to move all my txt file to marketing and also, let's say, to digital marketing folder here at a go. I want to move all my .txt file to the digital marketing directory, which, looking at the face value, it is empty. So the command to move is mv, and then I use this wildcard, which is asterisk, and I add .txt, and then here I type units. So in this process, I'm moving all the txt file. So here it's marketing, and then take note of the digital marketing, there's space. So digital, note Linux is case sensitive, and then space marketing. Press enter, it says yes, spelling of marketing. So I have managed to move all the files to that. So here, the asterisk matches any number of characters. So it moves everything. It can even move folders. Right. Now, I want to move the files back to the current working directory. So here I will use the command mv units. I'm moving this, and then followed by marketing. Check the spelling and note the space as well. Digital backspace, marketing, case sensitive. So type what you see, and then /, and then I introduce my asterisks, and then followed by dots. So dots represent that your current working directory. So when I press enter, it moves everything. Now you can see it here. When you come to your practice folder, you have all these files listed here. So now when you type ls, they are back. The same way, when you come here and then you type the command ls units marketing, digital, because of the space, it's a digital space marketing. It shows empty, means there's nothing there. You've moved it. Now let's use another wildcard. You know, I had a reason for creating list 2, list 3, list 4, list 5. I have a reason. Right. I want to use the question mark wildcard to delete all files having a number after list. So obviously I don't want to delete list, but anything having one character after list. So here what I mean is I type the command remove, and then I type in list, then I bring question mark, and then followed by TST. So here, this command here will not delete list, but one character after list. So if it has any character after list, it will delete that. So when I press enter, all those files have been deleted at the go. Right? So now when you type ls, you can see that we managed to delete all the files with one single command. And that is it for mastering the Linux command part 2. Today we built on basics from part 1 and learned how to move around directory using CD and then relative paths. Again, we managed to create, copy, move, and rename files, and with mkdir, and also with the cp command, and also move mv command. We also managed to use a wildcard, like asterisk and question mark, to work with multiple files at once. We also use this dot, the period, for current directory, and also the dot for parent directory. So by now you should feel much more confident navigating the terminal, managing files, and using the wildcards to speed up your workflow. In the next part, we would dive deeper. So make sure you stick around. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss part 3.